everybody. It's Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law Group. We handle exclusively E2 and E1 visas. So no matter what treaty country you're from or where you want to be, we can help. So today, I'd like to take just a moment to remind you to hit that little bell and subscribe if you find these videos useful. And of course, if you have any friends or family members who are interested in the E2 or E1 visa, please feel free to share this channel and this video. So today, let's talk about getting an E2 visa by running a dental office. Can you do it? For sure, as long as it's legal and for profit and has customers or clients. Generally, anything is available for the E2 visa. That includes dentist office. So it's a question that we get commonly and frequently. Many Canadians who are here on TNs as dentists, they want to buy out their current boss or maybe business partner, or they are looking to get out of being a dentist at someone else's practice and into their own. Of course, there are other people from other countries that want the same thing, but it's very common when speaking about Canadians on TNs wanting to open a dental practice and get an E2. It's possible, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about a few of the sticking points. So number one, just understand right off the bat that dental practices usually are more of a significant, or as the government calls it, substantial investment than the typical $100,000 for a brand new business, okay? There are a variety of reasons for that. Many people who want to get an E2 visa with a dental practice are buying an existing business. And if you're buying an existing dental practice, I've never seen one that is valued at about $100,000, right? So if it's valued at $500,000 to $1 million, which many of these practices are, we always recommend that you have about at least $300,000 of personal funds for a business that's valued around $500,000, and for $1 million, $500,000 to $600,000. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, something else to keep in mind: could you buy part of a dental practice? Yes, you could. In that instance where the dental practice is valued at approximately $500,000 and you bought 51%, now you're in it for about $260,000, potentially more doable. Okay. And if it's $1 million, that means your share would be around $550,000. And so in that instance, probably, 400 or so might be able to do it as long as you're a 51% partner. Now, of course, if you're more, you need to put in the percentage, right, of the business that you're buying, right? So if you're buying 70%, then you need to pay 70% of the overall cost. Remember that substantial investment is a proportionality test. So the more the business costs to buy, the lower the percentage that you have to invest in order for it to be considered substantial. Of course, like all areas of the E2 visa, there's no bright line rule. It's all a feeling. It's all gut. It's all based on experience. So be sure that you're talking to someone who has some experience when they're purchasing a business, and especially, within those price points, what they've seen get approved and things like that. So that's something to consider. Okay, that is a substantial investment, and this is a big hurdle for people. Now, let's talk a little bit about that substantial investment. Remember, I said personal funds, not a loan. So let's take that $500,000 dentist practice that you want to buy, 100%. You would probably need to put in around 400-ish, maybe 300 to 400-ish of your own funds, personal funds. And you could potentially get a loan for the rest, right? But those personal funds need to be yours personally, not a bank loan based on purchasing this business, right? Not backed by the assets of the business. And so you can get a personal loan from a friend. You could get a personal loan from an institution. That's okay, as long as you can use those funds for anything. Could you use them for a trip to Iceland or the Bahamas, a new Birkin bag, plus a new Corvette, whatever it is that you want to do, as long as the terms of the loan are that they are your personal funds to do with what you want. Then you can use them as part of the investment, right? Along with all the other legal sources: personal savings, gift from a family member, inheritance, sale of personal real estate, line of credit off of personal real estate, things like that, okay? So that's the biggest hurdle when dealing with purchasing a dentist office or starting a dental practice with an E2 visa. So to start one, it may be slightly less expensive than purchasing one, but it will likely not be $100,000. Remember, the key to substantial investment amount is that you need to be able to get that business operational. So if you feel like opening a brand new dentist office, you could do that for $250. Great. Then it looks like the substantial investment would be about $250. Okay, so something to keep in mind. In addition, keep in mind that any business you're going to be running in the United States must be legal. So, of course, a dental practice is legal, but you need to be able to legally own and operate it. So you need to check with the state to make sure that you have all licenses in order to legally operate this, including your dentist license. All of the people that you have on staff obviously need to be licensed as well. And all of that needs to happen before the application because we want to make sure that we put those permits and licenses in the application in order to apply for the E2 visa. So make sure that you are fully licensed, fully permitted, and legal to go, and make sure you have that substantial investment. Okay. Remember as well that this business needs to be real and operational. So if you are starting a brand new business, it needs to be real, probably not a problem there, but operational. That's a key as well. So with that, now I do want to take a step. It's always critical to speak with an immigration attorney before you get a business operational if you do not have work authorization or if your work authorization does not extend to this business, right? So those details, the timeline that you're in the US, when you file, when it becomes operational, where you're at, your current status, all of those things are very, very fact dependent. Do not do them on your own, right? Speak to an immigration attorney who can help you strategize about timing and where you are and your status in the US and all of those things, okay? So with that, those are some of the tips and tricks that we wanted to talk to you about if you are starting or if you are considering starting or purchasing a dental business. If you have any other questions about the E2 visa, dental business or not, please give us a call. We'd be happy to speak with you about your E2 visa.